So last night, What's the Dirt came into my DMs at 12:40 in the morning. Yes, that is what really happened to me. And it's because he tried this feeble attempt to disprove or debunk the poetic justice theory to all of his followers and all of the Drake stans that still follow What's the Dirt. I want to show you guys the DMs because to me, I think this really does show you how nervous the other side is about this story leaking out, because it is a big deal. You know, I've seen a bunch of YouTube creators get on here and react to our some of our videos, which has been incredible. That response has been awesome. I appreciate the shout outs. I appreciate, you know, the streamers who are watching the content and getting what we're picking up and putting down. But now the other side is picking up on this, and they desperately want this story to stay nipped in the bud. But we ain't going to let them do that over here. So this is What's the Dirt sent me, again, at 12:40 last night. And I saw what he had posted, or just to be fair, this is what he had put out on his Instagram. He put up, you know, Kendrick Lamar praises Drake's writing on poetic justice. Swipe to see more. And it's his feeble attempt at trying to debunk the poetic justice theory. He goes on in the next post to quote a VH1 article, which was just so choice, because if you've been following us for any amount of time, pre us blowing up on YouTube a little bit, we have used this article, this VH1 article, ourselves as a way to prove the poetic justice theory. So when I saw that, I was giddy. But, you know, he's obviously like taking some shots at the poetic justice theory, and I'm going to stand on business because I have been in these trenches working on this story and working on this content for 5 years. It's been a two-man team. It's been me and my fiance, and I'm just not going to let people play with my theory. Like, absolutely not. So if you come into this house, remember the two rules. Timeline and lyrics are above all else. So we'll get into the VH1 article in a second, but I just wanted to be fair to What's the Dirt and showing you what I had posted on my Instagram for him to come in to my Instagram DMs. And he says flat out at 12:40 in the morning, the theory is dumb. My chat asked me to react. Never personally insulted you or your girl, just a wrong theory. Please stop saying I stole from you. Also, I had no idea who you were, dude. And it should be noted that at one point in time, What's the Dirt was kind of looked at in the hip hop community as someone who does what me and Desiree Rose do, which is decoding lyrics, giving you the little inside scoops that you normally wouldn't get from Genius, right? Like, that's how he built his platform. Well, a bunch of y'all have been saying in my comment section, hey, please, for the love of God, don't turn out to be anything like What's the Dirt. Because what happened was, somewhere along the line, he got big enough and built his platform up to the point where it looks to me like he became paid off. He started collecting a bag from somewhere else other than his YouTube subscribers, other than people supporting his content. And you can very clearly see that reflected in the type of content that he posts. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? And it should also be noted, once upon a time, before he went through and deleted a bunch of his videos from before 2 years ago on his YouTube, because you can't find a video before then, at one point, I had people in my DMs emailing me, tagging me in videos where What's the Dirt is openly talking about the poetic justice theory on videos. Magically, suddenly, all those videos are now gone, or that video in particular is now gone. So I find this little message he sends me at 12:40 in the morning a little disingenuous when he says, please stop saying I steal from you. Also, I had no idea who you were, dude. Dog, you cruise Reddit. You cruise Reddit for rap topics to talk about. You and Drake are not Pat Stay. You have no content acumen. Drake has no battle acumen. Y'all are not Pat Stay. Like, stop it. I don't want to hear it. So I just send back because I'm trying to get some shut-eye, because now I'm geeked. Now I'm ready to come downstairs and film. All I said was, why would you say something then delete it? That's not very Canadian. Because every Canadian I know that I play hockey with, when they talk, they usually back it up. And I just kind of throw in like a little Canadian hockey reference, like elbows up. Tomorrow, dog, get some sleep. And that's just basically like it's on. Like it's on. Like you're gonna throw my theory out there. You're gonna try and besmirch my name, besmirch my work. It's on. I don't give a fuck. So he continues after I say that, and I take my little happy ass to sleep. He sends more messages. LOL, my guy. I didn't diss you. The theory makes zero sense. Relax. You're mad now because I disagreed with your theory? Welcome to content creation. No, I'm not mad. I'm actually genuinely excited to make this video. You are scared. There is a huge difference in energy. Someone who's like trying to like have an honest discussion or an honest discourse would have tried to bring me on like multiple other creators have tried already. He would have reached out via email. You can find that. You can find me, dog. It ain't hard. But no, you wanted to post a piece of propaganda to back up your boy's talking points. You and Drake are not Pat Stay. You don't, I'm telling you, dog, it's up. So he continues to say, you're mad now? No, I'm geeked up. I'm fucking war ready. Most people outside of insane Kendrick stans will see it the same way. No, they're not. Because literally, just yesterday, we had made it over to Reddit. And people are actively embracing this theory. Because we have worked on this for 5 years. I've been in these trenches connecting these dots with Dez. We've been putting out content on this for years. Actual years. Half a decade's worth of work. And what, you're just going to put up a little Instagram post and think that you're going to, like, get rid of me? You're out of your fucking mind, dog. Also, welcome to content creation. I've been in these trenches making content since before your YouTube channel was a thing. I was one of the youngest radio personalities in the history of the city of Detroit at a hip-hop station. White boy in that bitch just fucking ripping. Who the fuck are you? I have no reason to go back and forth with you online. So if you want to be childish and make videos about me and lie about me, then go ahead. I'm not lying, dog. It's your people. It's your subscribers who remember you making content about my shit. The fuck are you talking about? You can try and use this as some moment to boost for your channel. I don't need the boost. Because guess what? Watts is checking in. Compton is checking in, giving a thumbs up. LA's checking in, giving a thumbs up. Vegas is checking in and giving a thumbs up. Atlanta is checking in and giving a thumbs up. Chicago's checking in and giving a thumbs up. You and your boy Drake are not Pat Stay. You can try and use this as some moment to some sort of boost for your channel. All I did was disagree with your theory because it's insanely wrong. No, you're just on the fucking take. You're just getting fucking checks now to say shit. Don't be disingenuous here, dog. Stick to the lyrics. Stick to the timeline. You're the one who does this type of content. I don't even make this type of shit. I miss making happy relationship content with my fiance. But I can't because this is a higher purpose right now. Because the media isn't actually doing their fucking jobs and reporting on it the right way. So I gotta be the one in the trenches doing this shit. Fucking ridiculous. No content acumen. No battle acumen from your boy. You and Drake are not Pat Stay. This is a collage from your page, by the way. Look at this. Look at this. What grown man? Grown man. Glazing another grown man. Fuck out of here with this shit. Look at this. Drake celebrates a grand slam at a Blue Jays game. Ugh. Champagne Poppy just like my Iceman 3 breakdown. Ugh. Drake wins in a lawsuit. Here's me in an Iceman t-shirt. How in the hell are you going to say that you have zero objectivity whatsoever? This is what annoys me. And I'm sorry to any black person or person of color that was giving me shit years ago, saying, hey, we need to bring in gatekeepers because we can't just let anybody in here. I used to get defensive against this shit. I understand now, because why would you trust somebody like this? How can you say that you're being completely objective when your page is bought and paid for? Fuck out of here. You and your boy are not Pat Stay. Anyways, yes, I have seen this tweet, and it's just funny to me. It really is just funny to me. Also, the poetic justice theory claims that PS stands for Pac Shakur. Look, if Kendrick wrote that verse for Drake, don't you think he would have revealed that in the battle? He fucking did! You break down lyrics. Where is it? Right here. The very first time I shot me a Drake, the homie told me to aim it this way. I didn't point down enough. I'm fucking sick of this shit, man. It's up. It's up with all of you. I don't care anymore. I don't care. If you're going to step in this house and you want to get in this ring with me, you got to stick to the timeline and you got to stick to these lyrics. Those are the only two rules. But I'll humor you, Dirt. I'm going to bury you in it. I'll humor you. Here we go. You want to talk the VH1 article? You want to talk that? Here's the VH1 article. Hang on. Let me pull it up. And just so you know, I do have a background in journalism, so I'm going to teach you a thing or two. What you engaged in on your Instagram post is something called quote killing. When you don't actually attribute the article in its proper context. That's what you engaged in. And then you created content off of a killed quote, which is something called framing. Because you're pushing a narrative for someone who, gee, I wonder who you could be pushing a narrative for. It ain't hard to tell. Ain't hard to tell, dog. But let me learn you something. Yeah, I'm aware of the VH1 article. I used it. Fun fact, I posted it on my TikTok, time-stamped and dated, February 13th of this year, pre-Super Bowl. Because the article points to us being right. What is Kendrick saying in the article? This track was really about bringing the best, pulling out pure honesty on a track. We're talking about specific people. Come on, dog. Specific people, not specific women. And again, it just goes to show you, like, journalism in this country sucks right now. And I know that. I am very aware of that. We're talking about specific people. The actual quote. They're not talking about women. And what does Kendrick give us with Gloria? Ain't no bitch like my bitch because that bitch been my pen. It's whenever when he's using a woman in his raps, he's talking about the game. He's talking about hip hop. He's talking about writing. We're talking about specific people. You know, just pulling out pure honesty on a track. I could never right my wrongs unless I write them down for real. That's what your boy said. And speaking of your boy used a Rasheed Wallace gif, I think it was last year, middle of last year. The guaranteed video, guaranteed, will not win game 2. Dog, this ain't game 2. Game 1 was poetic justice. Game 2 was the battle. Game 3 was the court case. You're one game away from getting swept. Drake and Dirt are not Pat Stay. Jesus Christ. But let me give you some game, because I can see you, my lil homie. Who directed the Poetic Justice music video, Dirt? Google search it. Kendrick Lamar directed it underneath the pseudonym or the surname of Lil Homie. And then he says that you're the one who decodes lyrics. Decode it. 616 in LA. Let me give you some game because I can see you, my Lil Homie. You playing nerdy with Zach Bia and Twitter bots. He's playing dirty with you too. Bought and paid for page. I fucking wish I could. Bought and fucking paid for. Unbelievable. Hey, Dirt, decode this. Kendrick Lamar is the master who masturbated on your favorite MC until the industry had wanted him assassinated. Who's the Who did he get off on? Who? I'll fucking wait.